Last week the European Council painted themselves into a corner, seemingly in the expectation that this would frighten us into complying with their demands. The Prime Minister rightly gave them short shrift. Barnier, who has blown hot and cold countless times in the past, is now suggesting they are open to further negotiations. We are not interested in his parsnips unless they are realistically buttered. This week too the House of Lords was up in arms at the content of the Internal Market Bill, accusing the government, amongst other things, of breaking international law and ruining our international reputation. We need to be more specific. To provide for the responsible management of the United Kingdom as a sovereign independent state in a future of high uncertainty and great opportunity needs a firm grasp of the realities, that and adequate flexibility to deal with the unforeseen. A situation could easily arise in which the detail of the withdrawal agreement would be seen by all concerned as not sensibly applicable, either to the United Kingdom as a whole, or, because of differential impact as a result of devolution, to England or Scotland or Wales or Northern Ireland individually. You say, but the withdrawal agreement is a treaty with international status. It is not quite as simple as that. Having international status is no guarantee that a treaty is legal. We may respectfully wonder how many of their lordships have actually read the withdrawal agreement. Those who have done so needed go no further than preambular paragraph 18 to realize that it contains what in computer speak is known as a fatal error. Preambular paragraph 18 notes that in parallel with this agreement the parties have made a political declaration setting out the framework for the future relationship between the European Union and the United Kingdom. That is not what Article 50 of the Lisbon Treaty, which governs the process for withdrawal of a member state, specifies. The framework is for the future relationship between the departing state and the European Union. The political declaration is illegal, and so is the withdrawal agreement, by dint of reference to it. Well, doesn't the withdrawal agreement in fact take over from Article 50, I hear you ask? It doesn't think it does. It bends over backwards in the preambular paragraphs to suggest that it is fulfilling the requirements of Article 50. It doesn't succeed, of course. Complex circles cannot be squared just because that's what we would like. So what is the difference in practice? The answer is all the difference in the world. It explains what the EU have made us undergo in 4.5 dreary years since we voted to leave. Article 50 envisages the European Commission driving a hard bargain with the departing state on behalf of the Union, but keeping its bargaining zeal within bounds by reference to how the departing state will see the future of its relations with the EU, that is, with the member states and the institutions. In many areas the EU institutions won't be involved at all. The institutions only have power in as far as the member states agree to conferring it on them. In the spirit of the age and in accordance with the international obligations the EU member states have accepted this. It is supposed to be a wide-ranging positive-sum game. In the case of the UK it would be enormously wide-ranging. But that has not been our experience. The EU have played us false from the start. They threw Article 50 out of the window and adopted their illegal and grossly self-serving guidelines of the 29th of April, 2017, insisting that they should be the sole basis of negotiation. As a result, the process of our withdrawal has been mired in both EU illegality and EU bureaucratics ever since. The overwhelming EU preoccupation that we should not be seen to gain from leaving has inevitably been carried over into discussion the framework for our future relationship. It cannot be other a negative-sum game. So it now looks as if our leaving the EU will be as messy as was our joining. We were not among the 6 signatories of the 1957 Treaty of Rome which established the EEC. We applied to join in 1961. We thought we were coming up the home straight when, in January 1963, that haughty, embittered tyrant Charles de Gaulle declared at one of his Olympian-style press conferences in the Elysee, and to the total surprise of everyone else, that the UK was not fit to join the EEC. The other 5 countries meekly caved in. It was to be another 10 years before we actually joined the EEC, and when we did so, the terms of entry were so harsh that Mrs. Thatcher demanded and obtained a substantial rebate. We have been shabbily treated by our EU partners from start to finish. We do not belong inside the EU. As Clement Attlee rightly said, we're semi-detached. That is the pattern for the future, and there are plenty of people of talent and energy, on both sides of the channel, to make that pattern a thriving reality.